There's a ton of new multi-tools that have come out recently, and each time one comes out, I think, oh no, this may be it for Leatherman. Leatherman may go under because these tools are so good. Let's take a look at some of these competitors to Leatherman. One of the first ones that comes to mind is the Gemini, Next Tool Gemini, that comes in somewhere underneath that $50 mark. And it's got replaceable wire cutter, spring-loaded pliers. It's got the 4mm cordless screwdriver right here. And then we also have scissors. We've got a knife, and then we've got several more screwdrivers plus a can opener and a bottle cap lifter. So this is a really cool design, and I think it's definitely sits squarely in that innovative design. A lot of people wanted Leatherman to think out of the box and make something radical like this, but Next Tool actually made something completely different, and it seems to have fizzled out. So for a while I was super excited about this, but to be honest, this is more useful just for like computer, RC cars, like things with battery compartments and small screws. I don't find this extremely useful in a day-to-day situation, and so fortunately it's been put away, but it is a very, very cool tool. Now, one of the other tools that I think is just pretty amazing is actually the Day Camping DL1. This has the replaceable wire cutters. It's got the pocket clip. It's got, let's see, on the inside here, the 1/4-inch bit driver. And then finally, on the outside, we've got a full-size pair of scissors. And this is just a fantastic multi-tool. One of the things I find myself using all the time is this little small screwdriver, this very micro screwdriver. Even though the metal isn't extremely good, it really comes in a pinch, and I enjoy using that. Over here we have the DL30 Day Camping, and this is a fantastic multi-tool. I've put a clip on mine, and it does have the T-shank adapter, and you can exchange blades right here just like the Leatherman Surge. And then on the inside we have this great 1/4-inch bit driver, and then we've got a ton of good tools on the inside as well. Just fantastic heavy-duty multi-tool, and this is a steal, one of the best deals on a multi-tool out there right now. Really, really good value. Now, recently the SwissTech 30-in-1 came out, and this was my dream tool, to be honest. I have been looking for a good pair of wire strippers with a good set of tools, and this really fills that gap, and I'm thrilled that this has come out. And one of the things I love about this is that not only does it fit in the handle, you have got these outside tools. When you open this up, you have the tool that I love, the 1/4-inch bit driver, plus you have some other tools here and even a pair of scissors they sneak in here as well. So I really like that, plus this electrician's knife right there. Really, really cool. Plus you have 2 sets of pliers. And that is just a fantastic multi-tool. I've got several videos detailing this you can look at later. And then coming up, I have been enjoying my GOAT multi-tool as well. And for a while, I think a lot of people thought this would actually put Leatherman under, that this would be the tool that would be the one tool everyone would need and no one would need a Leatherman again. But it has a couple issues. The first issue was when I got it, my wire cutters didn't work. So I had to make a little bit of a gap behind the wire cutters so that I could cut some bigger wires. Some people only needed to tighten the wire cutters, so maybe if you have this issue, that might be all you need to do. And then one of the things, when it comes to reality, I didn't realize how these levers would to some extent get in the way. And I have enough patience to work with this, but I have to say there are some times when I would just prefer a multi-tool that I could just flip up the implements, not worry about these levers and go. But the modular system where you can actually take out the inside tools and swap them out is really cool. I love that you can put these outside handle scales on here and use different kinds of material. So I really do like the GOAT, but it's not quite the perfect tool I don't think some people were envisioning. So when it comes down to it, is Leatherman in peril? Are they in trouble? is the curl and the surge, are they finished? Are they over? And I think the easy answer is no. And why is that? Well, let's use a watch analogy. So there are a lot of fakes and copies of watches, but when it comes right down to it, if you're in the market for a Rolex, you're probably only going to buy a Rolex. We could talk about cars as well. There's a lot of cars that try to mimic a BMW or a Mercedes perhaps. In the US, those are seen as more higher-end cars. Overseas, those can be fairly normal every day, but Rolls-Royce, whatever car that you pick out, Ferrari. But when you're looking for a car like that, you're probably not picking a Chrysler or a Ford or a GM or a Kia, even if it's a lot cheaper. If you're in the market for a luxury car, you'll probably buy a luxury car. And I think that's the same way with some of these multi-tools. Even though these are great, they're fantastic, for people who are worried about budget multi-tools, I'm not sure if they've been looking at Leatherman anyway. So maybe the Leatherman Rev and Wingman and Sidekick might suffer a little bit, but the higher end Leatherman multi-tools, I don't know that's really an issue for them, because right now Leatherman is seen as the top dog. Now, where I do think these multi-tools are really affecting perhaps the multi-tool market is some of the two companies that are direct competitors to Leatherman, and that is SOG and Gerber as well. So I think Gerber also will have these may have a huge impact on Gerber, because if some people were buying a Gerber center drive to save some money, let's say $30, $40, rather than buying a Surge, now they can buy essentially a Surge, very close to a Surge, for like $40. So instead of paying $130, maybe they would have paid $100 for a Gerber center drive or $70 or $80 on sale. Now they may just buy the DL30 for $40. And the same way with the Swiss Tech, the GOAT multi-tool is still a little bit cheaper than some of Leatherman's options. So this still, I think this is in a category all of its own, to be honest. But I do think that not only Gerber, but really SOG as well, both of them have been running pretty big specials recently. And some of that may be because their sales have dropped, I'm not sure. But I think these tools would directly affect SOG and Gerber. Now, there's always rumors online, and who knows what's real and what isn't, but we do see a lot of copies of Gerber and SOG online, and that cannot help the companies, I don't think, that much. So SOG and Gerber are already sort of that middle of the market, whereas Leatherman and Victorinox are slated at the top. So anytime you get tools like this are becoming increasingly good, really, really good, and really unique and interesting, I think what that hurts is not the top dog, but it ends up hurting Gerber and SOG especially. So those may be the companies we need to keep an eye on, and perhaps we need to think about stocking up on some of their tools. Not sure how much longer they can take this competition. Probably Gerber can last for a while, but with SOG's takeover by the new company, I'm not sure how long they'll stay in the multi-tool market. Again, just speculation, but it is something interesting to think about, how these multi-tools are really perhaps damaging Gerber and SOG the most, which means they're helping Leatherman. So it could be that copying Leatherman will actually, in the end, get rid of the competition for Leatherman. Now, I'm not sure if that's true. I'm sure there are some sales that are affected because people will buy this instead of the Surge, but I'm not sure if it's as much as we would think. And while I'm sure Leatherman does not want copies, they've made that very clear by lawsuits over the years. In the end, it may take out some of their competition. It'll be interesting to see, and we'll have to wait for the years ahead to see what happens in the multi-tool market.